TNT. Whoa, that's a bunch of noise. Hey, guess what? The whole premise here is we're a spirit on a human journey. And so here's the thing. We have a purpose. We have a soul purpose. Is that obnoxious? We have a soul purpose, right, that we're always moving toward. And our spirit is life force. Life force grows. So if we're always growing and we have the spiritual force that's growing, we're either growing in health or we're growing in disease. So which one? That's our focus. So our purpose is to create something that hasn't been created yet. Yet our mind loves certainty. Why? Because the primary instinct is survival. That's our mind. So it loves certainty. It loves what's known. It loves our past because it can predict the present and predict the future. And we know things in the world are always changing. So our purpose is to create something new. Everything in life is always changing, yet our mind loves what's known. Its primary need is certainty. Does that seem like it's a contradiction, right? So then our humanity is in contradiction on our sole purpose with our divinity. So here we go. So then we have problems that hit us. Man, some are in our control and some are totally out of our control. So what do? We worry, we stress, we try and find solutions, and we end up creating problems. I remember when I was married to my wife, and we were raising our son, his father wouldn't pay child support. She was stressed, he needs to pay, and he needs to be responsible, and all of a sudden they're getting in arguments, and now we're getting in arguments. I'm like, this is so dumb. Who cares? I'm supporting the family. Let the dude go. He's not going to pay. So finally, it's like, I told her one day, I said, you know what? There's not two people in our marriage. There's three. And that's a problem. So she finally got it. She let it go. And then because of the state laws up in Washington, when you don't pay your child support, when you get pulled over, you get arrested and your bail's child support. So every few months, a few $1,000s would show up in her bank account. And it was like, but the difference was we were happy. See, sometimes there's doing things right. Right, I mean, there's doing things right, sorry. And what's doing things right? He should pay child support. What's doing the right thing? Let it go. Give it to God. It'll work out anyway. You know, when I used to practice in Newport, when I first got out of chiropractic school, I got married, moved to North Carolina. We sold this other chiropractor my practice, and he paid, and then he quit paying. Well, he owed us tens of thousands, about $40,000. So I thought, you know what? Let's do things right. I didn't say that, but let's go to court. We're going to arbitration, hire these attorneys, go through these battles. Of course, we won because the contract was in our favor. But my attorney's fees were $55,000. The settlement was $40,000, and my attorney's fees were $50,000. That wasn't doing the right thing. So how many times do we create problems because we try and find these solutions, and we end up doing things right, but we give up the right thing? Why? Because what do? We take an unlimited God and we put him in a limited box. Because of our certainty, this is the way it needs to be, and find the solution right here. We take an unlimited universe and we put him into a limited perspective. And then we get stuck. So here's a quote out of the book, You Are More Powerful. Got tons of stories how this came about. But here it is, Joe Vitale. Says resistance, what's another word for resistance? Worry, anxiety, stress, solving problems yourself, keeps us in a constant state of anxiety and spiritual, mental, physical, financial, and material impoverishment. Okay, resistance puts you in all that stress. That's from Joe Vitale in his book, Zero Limits. So when I actually was making this book, God told me, this thing's going to take off. And then I thought, I should become a New York Times bestseller because I need the title when I'm speaking on stages. Okay, that was my idea. It wasn't God's idea, that was my idea, right? And then you learn the title doesn't make the person makes the title. So I hire a guy, great reputation, he's done all this. $400,000 later, New York Times changes the requirements, and first-time authors can't be New York Times bestseller, but he didn't tell me because he went through a divorce, so my payments are supporting him. And he didn't tell me. $400,000 later, I find out. Now what's doing things right? I should sue him and do all this, but he doesn't have any money. That's why he was sucking off us, right? What's the right thing? I'm going to give it to God. You know what? He told me I didn't need the title. So what do? Well, I walk away, and now we're falling better guidance. So how many times are we trying to solve a problem? So what do? Man, you just let it go. Right now, it's like if I have a problem or a challenge, first, I give it to God. I say, you know my sole purpose. You're here to help us. The universe moves through us. I'm giving it to you for you to solve the best way. So what do? I can breathe. I can come into present time. I can feel joy. I can get out of the state of resistance and worry. And then I look for guidance. Surrendering is not submitting. Surrendering is releasing. It's releasing the stress. It's giving the problem to a universe that knows the best answer. It's opening up all possibility for solutions to come through in ways we never expected. How many times you're worried, and it just seems to work out? How do you know? Because you're alive watching this. You've made it through some stuff. Things just work out, and a lot of times it works out in ways we never expected. Why? Because we give it to an unlimited universe. And then we say, I'm going to take action. I'm going to look for guidance. I'm going to take the action that the universe is guiding me toward my soul purpose for the best possible solution. So I remember I've faced this point many times in my life. Before my wife passed away, we were going through problems in our marriage. So I was in the bathroom going, oh my God, I've already been divorced once, because now I'm having challenges in my marriage again. So obviously when I take control of my life, I screw everything up. So I said, God, I'm giving it to you. I'm going to do what you say. And I was in that present time moment, totally intently, genuinely praying. And I heard a voice out loud say, just wait. In 2 years, it won't matter. And then I had a vision of me walking down the sidewalk in my town without my wife. But we weren't divorced. And I said, is she going to die? I said that out loud, and I got no answer. About a month later, going through the same problems, I'm up in the bathroom. Oh my God, you told me to just wait. I'm waiting. What's next? And then a voice out loud, like I'm talking to you, said, just wait. In 2 years, it won't matter. And then I had the same vision of me walking down the sidewalk without her, but we weren't divorced. And out loud, I said, is she going to die? Again, I heard no answer. 2 weeks later, found a lump in her breast. She was diagnosed with cancer. A year and a half later, she passed. If I hadn't have waited, if I hadn't have surrendered, I would have missed my greatest gift, and that was learning what unconditional love is. And because of that, every relationship since then has been way different, way more peaceful, far more loving, far more accepting, less resistance. And this system healed, and You're More Powerful is now here, because one day she said, 3 weeks before she died, I don't know if I fulfilled my purpose. And I said, I don't want anybody to ever say that again. So from that experience, from surrender and just waiting, my world, and hopefully the world from our soul purpose, is different. So what are you hanging on to? What is it time, whatever you're hanging on to, is it time for you